If there was one thing you can say about Edward Bloom,
was that I was intended for larger things. I was the biggest thing Ashton had ever seen.
Edward Bloom, first son of Ashton, it's with a heavy heart that we see you go. But take with you this key to the city, and know that any time you want to come back, all our doors are open to you.
Certainly this character, Edward Bloom, looks back over his life and is very pleased with what he sees. He's very pleased with what he's done and what he's achieved, and really, I'm just one hell of a guy in it, you know? I really am. Everything I do is kind of great, and I do it for the right reasons, and I'm a good man, and I love my wife, and I help people.
Mr. Mayor, he ate an entire cornfield.
He ate my dog.
You ain't gonna stop him, Mayor. We will.
I won't have mob violence in this town.
I'll talk to him, see if I can get him to move on.
Son, that creature could crush you without trying.
Oh, trust me, he'll have to try.
And cut.
And Mark.
Nice.
I never met you or worked with him, but seeing his work, you get the feeling that he's a guy that is willing to go for anything, you know, and I like those kind of people. I enjoy working with that type of actor.
The thing about this film is that every 2 or 3 days it feels like you're shooting another movie, which is why it's just been so amazing, because I still felt that today. I was jumping out of an aircraft.
Every day was like, you know, wrestle with some wolves, get inside a motorcycle cage. Okay, now we're going to, you know, chase a pig through a razor blade field.
You feel a couple of balloons pop, then you see him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great.
The whole sequence starts with you and trying to put a tutu on a pig. And the pig is upset, and the pig takes off and starts running through all these booths with Ewan hot on its tail. We've got stunned people throwing darts at him, and we have stunned people throwing softballs at him.
Mark it. Action!
They call them stunts. I mean, I don't jump off high buildings or anything, but the kind of action-y bits that I've done, I like them, you know, I find them, they're quite enjoyable to do. And in this, I've had lots and lots of stuff to do.
You know, I mean, he had all these kind of things to do every single day.
They're like anything else you do as an actor, and you try and do them as well as you can. And things just happen, whether they're physical or not. You know, there's an awful lot of times I've walked on a set thinking I'm not going to be able to do this bit. Because you're acting, you just kind of, 20 minutes later, you've done them, and they've gone by, and they haven't been a problem. You know, I don't know, it's about timing and stuff, which is what acting's about anyways.
You help my friend, okay?
This is what's beautiful about it for me, is that I get to play it where it's fantastical. It's just larger than life, and it's slightly exaggerated, but it's not fantasy. It's not dreamlike or anything, but it's just that little bit exaggerated. These stories are Edward's stories, and they're what make him the great man that he is. And he goes down a very Tim Burton-esque, haunted old Gothic-looking forest, and it's all covered in branches, and it's real hard going, but it's very Edward Bloom not to go the easy way through life, to go the hard way. He gets attacked by a swarm of bees.
It was like some bad reality program, you know.
He gets attacked by thousands of jumping spiders.
Without an actor like that, we'd still be shooting, you know what I mean? He just was right there and into it and got the absurdity and fun and weirdness of the whole thing, so good.
I was in with a cage with a big lion. We had a beautifully made prosthetic lion head that I put my head inside, because I wasn't going to put my head in the lion's head, or they didn't want me to anyway. But then for the wide shot, they wanted me in there with the real lion, and the lion was sitting maybe about 1.5 feet behind me. They needed it to roar, and a lion doesn't really roar unless it's annoyed. And then to make it roar, the woman came in and tapped it on the head with a wooden pole, which seemed to really annoy it. They got the shot, and here I am with all my limbs. So it's all right.
You saw?
Yeah, but I think the daffodils... Yeah. There was a great scene where I found myself leaning against an elephant's arse, daydreaming about Sandra saying she likes daffodils. And there was 3 elephants, so I had one on either side, and I was leaning against the middle one. So the one on my right starts having a dump, and you know, the cameraman said, "Quick, widen out." So he pulled out wide for the shot, and I carried on going, "She lacks daffodils." As this elephant pooed next to me.
Hey, Pedro, we may have to do a little bit more, bring out the line out here.
This scene was, yet again, another scene from some other movie. You know, suddenly I've gone from this 2 weeks filming as a circus worker to suddenly playing this kind of dreamy romance scene in a doorway, you know, a university.
Don, stop!
And cut. You get tight.
Yeah, jeez.
And at that moment, while he's beating the out of me, she decides that she doesn't like him anymore and she likes me. It's a very wise choice.
When we think about that role, it's like you couldn't almost get too excited about one you had to get, like, it had to be the double whammy, you know, of getting the two people that were right for it, because it was just so important, that balance. So I felt very lucky that between Albert and Ewan, you know, meeting them separately, I was amazed to see that they had a certain spirit and a certain sort of vitality and creative spirit that I thought was similar in a certain way.
You now enter the bottom of frame.
Oh, I see.
Albert Finney was, to work with, the most generous and excited actor, you know, that I've maybe ever worked with. I got to watch him, and he just, he seems to really love it still. And I like that, because I do as well. I really like it a lot. So it was reassuring to see that he still does as well.
We did a scene this morning where I was supposed to be fishing in the river. So I said, well, maybe Ewan better be there, because Ewan's learned to fish while he's been in Alabama. So I said, what do we do, Ewan? He said, oh, cast it side arm, very relaxed, you know. I said, sure, Ewan. As I've done most of mine first in the shooting, he'll have to copy me.
In terms of playing him, I put no effort into that at all. I didn't watch any of his stuff that he directed, because there's a lot of his Albert stuff they shot first, and I didn't watch any of it or make any attempt to copy what he was doing or anything. I shot this day that I'll never forget. We shot me hitting a home run and everyone cheering. And then we shot me getting the ball in for a touchdown and everyone cheering. And then we shot me shooting the winning basket and everyone cheering. I got home that night and I was sitting talking to my wee girl, and I said, Clara, I've had the most incredible day. I said, I won a baseball game, I won a football game, I won a basketball game, and everyone loved me and they cheered, and I feel fantastic. That was really great. I think once a year, instead of birthdays, we should have a kind of Edward Bloom Day, you know, where you get to feel great.